Down in the abyss, whales and giant squid clash in battles no one has ever witnessed. To see where they fight, we have to go deeper than ever before. The ocean covers over 70% of the Earth's surface, a vast blue canvas that governs our climate, our weather, and the very origin of life itself. And of all the water on Earth, a staggering 97.5% of it is this salt water, contained within these ocean basins. Yet, for all its immense volume and presence, it remains the greatest mystery on our own planet. Today, we are going on a journey, a descent into the abyss, to answer a simple yet profoundly complex question. Just how deep is the sea? And to answer that, we must talk about a specific place, a scar on the Earth's crust so deep that it defies imagination, the Mariana Trench. At its very bottom lies the Challenger Deep, confirmed by the 5 Deeps expedition to reach 10,935 meters below sea level. This is our ultimate destination. But before we reach it, we must descend through a series of alien worlds, each layer with its own secrets, creatures, and challenges. So let's begin our dive. First stop, the Sunlit Zone. We're sitting pretty between 20 and 30 meters deep. This is the part we all know. The water's warm, the light is beautiful, and it's absolutely packed with life. This is where you'll find most of the world's coral reefs and all those stunning tropical fish you see when you go snorkeling. Next, we've hit 40 meters. This is a serious boundary for scuba divers. Down here, something strange starts to happen. The high pressure can cause nitrogen narcosis. It basically makes your brain feel fuzzy, like you're suddenly very lightheaded and can't think straight. It makes you confused, clumsy, and that's incredibly dangerous when you're running out of air in the dark. It's a weird, disorienting place, but for some, it's just the beginning. Let's see how far we can really go. 100 meters. We have now left the world of recreational diving far behind. This is a depth reserved for specialized technical divers and the realm of superhuman freedivers. The pressure here is 11 times greater than at the surface. But we are not alone here. This is a known hunting ground for the giant ocean sunfish, or mola mola. These bizarre and ancient-looking creatures, the heaviest of all bony fish, frequently dive to these depths to feed. Next, 130 meters. Even here, humanity finds a way to celebrate. This is the depth of the world's deepest underwater wedding, a ceremony held beneath the waves, proving that life and love can find a way in the most unexpected places. Let's move on. 200 meters. We have now reached the official end of the Sunlit Zone and entered the Twilight Zone. This is the maximum depth where sunlight can still faintly penetrate, but it's no longer enough for photosynthesis. And in this faint light, if you're incredibly lucky, you might catch a glimpse of something legendary. The oarfish. These incredibly long, serpent-like creatures, which can grow over 8 meters, are deep-sea inhabitants that are rarely seen alive. Spotting one here would be like finding a living myth. This is also a critical boundary for human technology. It's around this depth that many military submarines operate to stay hidden, and it marks the beginning of the true deep-sea frontier. Let's keep going. 214 meters. This is not just a depth, it is a monument to human extremity. This is the absolute deepest point any human has ever ventured on a single breath of air. A record set by freediving pioneer Herbert Nitsch in 2007 in the discipline known as No Limits. The pressure at this depth is over 21 times atmospheric pressure. To survive, Nitsch had to withstand nitrogen narcosis so severe it induces a state akin to anesthesia, and the risk of lung squeeze was immense. He held his breath for over 9 minutes on the descent and ascent. This is the absolute outer limit of what human physiology can theoretically endure. This is the final frontier of human breath-holding endurance. To go any deeper, we must rely on technology. 332 meters. This is the very edge of what scuba technology can handle, reached only once by Egyptian diver Ahmed Gabr. But for the ocean's great predators, this is just part of their daily commute. Big-eye tuna and swordfish dive to these depths to chase prey in the twilight zone, then rise back toward warmer water to recover. This vast daily movement, called the ocean's vertical migration, is the largest migration of life on the planet. From here on, to follow them deeper, we must leave our bodies behind and rely on machines. 500 meters. This is the maximum diving depth for the emperor penguin, the deepest diving bird. To hunt for fish and squid in this darkness, they can hold their breath for an astonishing 20 minutes on a single dive, using their solid bones to avoid being crushed by the pressure. But the true ruler of this depth range is the blue whale, the largest animal on Earth. Their heart alone is the size of a small car, weighing over 400 kilograms, and its beat can be detected from over 3 kilometers away. A single adult blue whale can consume 4 tons of krill in one day. While they typically feed near the surface, they are capable of monumental dives to 500 meters that can last up to 20 minutes. It's also at this depth that the largest and most advanced military submarines, like the USS Thresher, operate to remain hidden in the eternal dark. Next, 1,000 meters. Welcome to the battlefield. This is the arena for one of the ocean's oldest and most epic rivalries: the sperm whale versus the giant squid. The sperm whale, the deepest diving mammal, is the hunter. It regularly plummets to these depths and beyond, over 2,000 meters, on dives that can last up to 90 minutes, using powerful echolocation to scan the darkness. Its prey is the giant squid. This elusive giant patrols the void with eyes the size of dinner plates, searching for the faint silhouettes of whales above. The scars on the whales and the squid beaks found in their stomachs are the only evidence of battles that rage in the absolute blackness. Let's continue our dive. 1,200 meters. This is the domain of one of the ocean's most mysterious predators, the Greenland shark. A creature of legend and science, it is one of the longest living vertebrates on Earth, with a potential lifespan of over 400 years. They are slow-moving ambush predators, often found patrolling these deep, freezing waters. They are so perfectly adapted to the darkness and pressure that they are virtually blind, often relying on other senses to find prey like seals and fish. Let's continue our descent. 1,300 meters. This is the preferred depth of one of the ocean's most bizarre and ancient predators, the goblin shark. Often called a living fossil, its lineage dates back over 125 million years. Its flabby, pinkish body is neutrally buoyant for energy-efficient hovering, but its most famous feature is a horror movie nightmare. Its jaws can suddenly rocket forward, snapping up prey in a fraction of a second before retracting back into its snout. Let's descend a little further. 1,500 meters. This is a great spot to find the deep-sea dragonfish, a ruthless predator that's perfectly designed for the blackness here. Its body is covered in light organs that it uses for camouflage and to communicate. But its best trick is a pair of invisible red headlights. Since most deep-sea creatures can't see red light, the dragonfish can shine a light on its prey without giving itself away, like a stealth hunter with a secret spotlight. Let's go a little deeper into the hunting grounds. 2,200 meters. This is where the sperm whale's hunt reaches its climax. Their ultimate prey isn't the giant squid, but its even more powerful relative, the colossal squid. The colossal squid is shorter but much heavier and more robust than the giant squid. It is the heaviest squid on Earth, armed with sharp rotating hooks on its tentacles, making it a far more dangerous opponent. Let's continue our dive. 3,800 meters. Here, resting on the abyssal plain, lies one of the most famous shipwrecks in history, the RMS Titanic. The unsinkable ship found its final resting place in this freezing, high-pressure environment, where it has been slowly decaying for over a century. This depth is so remote and pressure so intense that it took 73 years after the sinking to finally discover the wreck. It sits in two main pieces, surrounded by a field of debris that tells the story of that fateful night. Let's continue the dive. 6,000 meters. We have now crossed into the hadal zone, named after Hades, the Greek god of the underworld. This is the realm of the ocean trenches, the deepest and most isolated canyons on Earth. Let's keep going. We're at 7,000 meters now. This is about the deepest we've ever seen a Dumbo octopus, the deepest living octopus known. They look totally different from shallow water octopuses. They have soft, ear-like fins that flap slowly as they drift through the water, hunting small worms and crustaceans. It's surprising how such a soft-bodied animal can survive this deep. Let's keep going deeper. And at 8,000 meters, something pretty wild happens. This is around the depth where seawater actually becomes acidic enough to dissolve shells and coral structures. It's called the carbonate compensation depth. Basically, if you dropped a seashell down here, it wouldn't last long. But get this, life still thrives here. This is the realm of the hadal snailfish, the deepest dwelling fish known to science. In fact, the deepest fish ever recorded by humans was a snailfish filmed at 8,336 meters in the Izu-Ogasawara Trench. It doesn't have a swim bladder like other fish, and its body is almost gel-like to handle the crazy pressure. It just shows how life adapts to the impossible. And finally, we reach the bottom. 10,935 meters. This is the Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench, the deepest point on Earth. To put that into perspective, if you placed Mount Everest here, its peak would still lie over 2 kilometers beneath the surface. And yet, life endures. The seafloor is home to giant amphipods, scavengers that grow far larger here than their shallow water cousins. They have been captured on camera by deep-sea landers, right at this spot. So, how deep is the sea? It is as deep as our imagination can reach. A world where life defies every expectation, and a reminder that the last great frontier on Earth still lies beneath the waves.